Hi and welcome along to the Bias Premier League show, brought to you today by Boohoo Man. Do not forget, as we always say on the show, an extra 10% off all of their clothing if you use the code AFTV10. Just by watching this show, you get that brilliant discount. The link is in the description, right? Search up the thousands of clothes that they've got. Absolutely brilliant for the summer, because the summer is kind of here. 1 minute it's here in England, then it's gone, and it's here. But listen, it's kind of not too bad today. Right, we got White Yardie in the building, and we got Ty with a big smile on his face. We immediately have to start, before we get onto the men's game, with congratulating the women's team, champions of Europe.
Yes. Congratulations, our women.
Congratulations to them. They won the Champions League on Saturday. It was absolutely brilliant. We did a watch along to it.
We did.
You know, we've been at the parade today as well. It's been absolutely
amazing.
brilliant.
So many people turned up. Incredible.
Yeah, what a fantastic event it was, and just brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. Against all the odds, they were the complete underdogs to win that game, and they did it.
Well done, Robbie. Against all odds, Phil Collins, you are the man, my friend. I don't know how he does it. I just don't know how he does it.
Well, you were pretty emotional on the game, man.
Yes, I was. I was acting like Whitney.
Let's take a look at Ty, because he was breaking up. Check this out.
Robbie, I don't know how to explain it. Like I said, I'll start. I was very gutted not to go. We should have gone, but I always say it's not about me. Like I said, I don't want to start crying.
Yeah, because you look like your eyes are a bit teared up, man. What's going on?
Well, I'm so...
Oh, wait, hold on. He's got a couple of tears there.
Well, they're emotional, they're happy tears. I'm so emotional, like Whitney Houston, God rest her soul. But like I said it before, I couldn't think of better people, including production, to spend it. I couldn't want to spend a watch along with anybody else. It's just absolutely unbelievable. Congratulations to the legend that is Renee and all the legends of the team.
Isn't that the street? I think crying was by Gilbert Sullivan.
No, you have Jai Eyes, mate.
Yeah, that's the street.
And then you have Jai Cry, but who cares?
Oh.
That's Sizzler.
Oh, Sizzler.
Yeah.
Sizzler or Scissor?
Sizzler.
Yeah, because there's
know what Sizzler is. You know Sizzler?
Yeah, there's Sizzler. I know Sizzler from thing. She had a tune in the Black Panther movie, isn't it?
You know Sizzler?
Of course I know Sizzler.
Yeah, I watch
Of course I know Sizzler.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there was crying, I think, by Gilbert Sullivan.
Why was you crying, Ty?
I was nearly crying. And there was Cry For You by the Legends Jodeci. But yeah, I was very emotional, like Whitney. So emotional, God rest her soul. Yeah, because it's an emotional thing. Because to see what these women have done and what Renee has done is they are all legends now. I was seeing something, I was reading afterwards about Chloe, big up Chloe Kelly. She was saying that, boy, I wasn't playing at Manchester City, and now I've got a Champions League medal.
Yeah, exactly.
Sign her up straight away. Amazing. Amazing.
She actually, remember, she's on loan, like you said. And
yeah, we have to sign her up permanently.
She was talking about how she was so unhappy at Man City.
She was going to take a break.
That real fallout.
Yeah.
That she was going to take some time
out. That's right.
Yeah.
From football.
Yeah.
And then Arsenal come in, took her on loan. Remember, she started her career at Arsenal.
Absolutely.
And now look, she's played in the Champions League final.
Won a Champions League.
You can hardly believe it.
Stina Black-Stenius with a goal.
With the goal, Stina, right. Yes. An assist from Beth.
Yeah.
The two fantastic
subs that came on.
Changes from
How good was the manager?
Unbelievable.
Right? And remember when me and my daughter would be saying to you week after week after week,
yes,
we need to make a change of the manager before she came in, right?
Yes.
No, we weren't disrespecting him, but we could see that he's done. We need to change him, right? You kept saying, no, keep him. And where would we be now? We wouldn't have won that with him.
Well, probably not, but listen.
Well then.
That's just the way it is. Okay, so I was wrong and you were right. Fair enough. I hold my hands up, but you know.
Definitely wrong.
Well, you're always wrong, so.
No, I wasn't. No, you know, yeah, but big up the woman then, because even watching the game, like Barcelona, we see how they dealt with Chelsea in the
8-2 over 2 legs.
Like it was crazy, and we know they got a lot of talented players in their team. But it was a defensive masterclass from Arsenal, and they caught them on the counter, and that's it. We actually wasn't on the counter; it was from a corner.
Yeah,
it was from a corner, innit? And then they kept the
on
ball.
The transition.
Yeah, it was good,
you know the thing is about it, right? When I sort of watched back the highlights of the game, right? Because I watched it back on some of the highlights on Sunday, and I was like, Barcelona, they had a lot of the ball, but they didn't really have many chances.
No.
They had that chance where they hit the crossbar, and that was a deflected But,
Yeah.
you know, Steen and Black Signature scored.
She scored a
before.
hat-trick.
4, yeah.
We had the one that hit the header, that hit the bar. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, I really think we really deserved that.
We did deserve that.
And it was brilliant. There were scenes, by the way, absolute scenes on the watch along when we won the game. Check this out.
Nice.
Good ball.
Hit.
Ref, get out of the way.
Crack.
Right, oh, he's on. She's on. Come on! Yes!
Come on!
Yes! Come on!
Get in! Scenes!
But then the thing is, your daughter also said,
I was watching the watch
spoke to
along
her.
as well.
Okay, yeah, oh yeah, and you do. But
I saw you going for a little cheeky hug too.
what is this? What is going on there? What is going on there? What are you
Don't
trying
lie.
to say? What are you trying to say, though?
See, we're
What are you trying to
celebrating
say?
and hugging and everything.
You're
Yeah.
talking about lovely Ella, aren't you? That's what you're saying. But you said, no, but it's a football thing, isn't it?
I know.
We
But
all
you never
hugged each
hugged
other.
Ty. You never hugged Robbie.
Of course I hugged Robbie
I never.
and Marty.
No, you didn't. You
Yes,
didn't.
I did. I went over to hug them. Remember, they were on a different side
you
to me.
didn't hug
Ella
them.
was next
I didn't
to
want
me.
him to
They
hug
were there. Hey, you see? Look at him. But like your daughter also said, I spoke to your daughter, and I said to her, and she agreed. What it is that it's an interesting thing because I think Chelsea, listen, that's up to them. I think they try to play football with Barcelona, and you can't. That's why Chelsea. If we tried to play football with Barcelona, they would have destroyed us. That was the tactic.
The manager, the tactics.
This is what I'm saying.
Absolutely brilliant.
You have to. What it is that Barcelona. I think if I paraphrase or try to look into Rene's football mind, she probably said, "We know Barcelona are going to have most of the ball, but make sure they can't hurt us in those areas." That's what she probably said because Barcelona. That's what I mean.
I saw Alessia Russo during the week at the Football
Congratulations,
Rights
Alessia,
Awards,
for
and when
winning
she was
Football
picking up her award, she spoke, and you could see
the
there
confidence.
was a steely-eyed determination with them, and she was like, "We've got a game plan for Saturday." And she goes, "We execute that game plan, we feel we can win it."
And
they executed that game plan.
And listen,
and it was a brilliant win.
Absolutely.
And by the way, people, the parades, wow,
Amazing.
You know, again, look at some of the scenes from this.
Absolutely.
Absolutely incredible. So well done to the women.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Congratulations to them.
And the
You
thing
know,
is,
the
Robbie,
craziest thing is I upset a lot of Tottenham fans on the weekend. I didn't know. I really upset a lot of them.
What do you do?
Why?
this
Just
time?
by saying one little thing. I just put out a little comment just saying Arsenal women have reigned on
Supreme.
Tottenham's
Parade.
parade. That's all I said. They are rattled like
Yeah,
I'm
they're
talking
producing
about
all these memes, innit? Did you see the one with
Rice and
Rice
Saka?
and
Yeah,
Saka
they,
dressed
but
as women and stuff
they
like
are
that
going
to try and...
Really?
like
Okay.
just take the just keep moving, man. Listen, keep moving. Don't
Keep
be
on
upset.
moving.
No,
Let me
they're
just
upset
get,
by it.
Listen, right, I've been getting it all weekend. I was on Saturday Social on Sky. Smithy, Fuad, they were giving it to me
Trying
left, right,
to.
and centre. Right, but let me tell these man, right? As I said to them, well done
Yeah.
for winning the Europa League. Right, there's no denying. You get,
No.
you know, I mean, the prize at the end of it, you get into the Champions League, and that. Well done to them. Congratulations, their first trophy in 17 years. They had their parade as well. We know there's loads of Tottenham fans. They turned out. Congratulations. But I'm sorry, you have not had a better season than Arsenal.
No, exactly.
Let's assess it. I'm going to break it down now, right?
Break it
Because
down.
There's been a lot of talk. Even yesterday we was with Ryan after the game. Ryan thinks they had a bit.
Yeah, no,
Arsenal fans.
yeah.
Arsenal fans like Ryan, they have not had a better. Right,
have not
let's
had a
break
better
it down. Yeah. In the league, right? In the league, we finished second.
Yep.
They finished 17th.
What?
22 losses.
Oh
The
my
first time in the history of the Premier League that a team has had 22 losses and
still
not been relegated.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are lucky
Yeah.
that the three teams, and we were witness to one of them yesterday, right?
We're worse than
Right? Are so bad that that's the only thing that saved them from relegation. They would have been like a Wigan when Wigan won the FA Cup
and
and
then got
went down,
relegated. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's the league. In the FA Cup, we both went out of that early, right? They had an easier route with Tamworth, and they struggled to even remember
Tamworth
to
should have
beat
beaten them.
Tamworth, right?
Tamworth should have beaten them.
But we both went out.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor, both of us in that. In the Carabao Cup, We both got to the semi-finals
yeah.
and lost. Right? Out.
Yeah.
So none of us did better than that.
Yeah.
In the, so what we got? League,
Yeah.
because I'm assessing the season, you know, people.
FA Cup,
League,
Yeah.
FA Cup,
Yeah.
Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
In the Champions League, we got to the semi-final, right? And we got
That's right.
knocked out by PSG.
But that's after beating Real Madrid in the
In
round
the
before.
Europa League,
Yep.
they have won the Europa. They've gone all the way to the final. They've won the Europa League, and they are they're champion. But there's one big thing: we weren't in
Exactly.
the Europa League.
League.
Exactly.
We were in the Champions League.
Exactly.
So you can't compare.
You can't.
You can't compare. You notice on everything other metric, I compared our seasons
Yeah.
that we were in together.
Yeah.
But
I know,
they were not in the
yeah.
Champions League, and we were not in the Europa League.
That's the thing.
Right?
That
So
makes me laugh.
how can you compare? That's what I'm saying to Ryan yesterday. How can you compare them? Because they had Bodo Glimt in the semi-final
Yes.
of the Europa League. We had
PSG.
PSG who'd beaten Liverpool.
Yep.
Yes.
Beaten
Manchester City, I think.
not Manchester City, Aston
Not
Villa.
this season. Aston Villa,
right?
sorry, yeah.
How can you? You can't compare
can't.
it. There's just no way we can compare it because we're not, everything
different
else.
things.
Everything else we can compare. As I said.
Yeah.
And the ones that we can compare. There's two of them where we both went out, and there's the other one where we finished second and you finished 17th. Not only that, we beat you home and away in that.
That's right,
Yeah.
twice.
So I'm
that's a good
sorry,
point.
right? As I said, taking nothing away from Tottenham. I don't want to come across salty here. Taking nothing away from Tottenham. You won the Europa League. Congratulations. But you can't compare the seasons
can't.
because we weren't in that. If we were in that, you can argue that you had a better season than Man United because you were all
Yeah.
in the same competition.
And they beat them 4
And,
times.
all right, they
Four
finished.
times.
They
4 times,
finished.
can you imagine?
Yeah, you beat them 4 times. You finished a couple of places below them, but you did beat them in the ultimate thing, that competition where you were both in. But you can't compare with us.
Nope.
Right? You can't compare with us. So settle down, Tottenham
Yeah,
fans.
you know, I just
That's the logic of
no,
it.
but
Yeah,
even what you just said, like,
absolutely.
I agree. You give them credit. They don't.
I'm giving them credit.
They don't know that. I'm, you know, Big Ange. He said it. He said he normally wins in his second season. That
If it was such a great
credit to him,
achievement,
he done it. He done
well,
it.
yeah, but if it was such a great achievement, why are they thinking of sacking him?
But
They lost their last
yeah.
game of the season. All right, they're on the beach a bit because but they lost
But
it
still,
4-1 at
22,
home.
they won it up,
22
won it up.
games.
4-1 at home. 22 defeats.
38 points
up.
in 38. That's a point
Yeah.
a game.
Yeah.
Point
Right
a game.
now, Big Ange said they've had an outstanding season.
No, man, no.
22 defeats in the league. Let's see if they keep him. I'm going
They
to be
probably will
very
keep him.
interested.
They probably will keep him.
Should they keep him?
Yeah, man. I think he won them the European Cup, and like even yes, in terms of a season, like
So keep him what? Nostalgia? Like
give him one more season. Give him one more season.
well, they did that.
I think-
United done that with Ten Hag. They've got worse.
No, but
They're now-
I
they're now in a-
think Big Ange deserves it because look.
No, but that's
the
what they
final,
said.
The final was trash. Put it
No,
that
no,
way.
hold
The
on. They
final was
said that
trash.
last year about Ten Hag. If you ask me,
So we don't want them worse.
if you ask me, it was an even harder win, a better win because they beat Man City
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the
2-1.
final.
Yeah.
Right,
And
in
they kept him.
in the final. They kept him right when they knew really and truly
Yeah.
deep down.
Yeah.
They knew he weren't the one.
Yeah.
They knew that this guy's not the guy because Tottenham have got a good side. Is Big Ange?
Yes.
I'm not saying they're going to lose 22 games, right?
Well, it might
But
do.
through the league next season, you feel that
Yes.
Big Ange.
Yes.
No, take banter aside now.
No, I'm not. No, what? Keep him because I think in that final was so bad. Look at even the goal that they scored. It was so bad.
Summed up the final.
I believe
Summed
that.
up the two
You
teams.
know what I think should have happened? You see, the loser of that should play Ipswich for the position in relegation. I think no man. Like one of them should have gone out of the league for that, man. I think the loser of that final should have been relegated out of the league because that was so bad. But you have to give that they won a European
They won
Cup.
a trophy.
They won
They won a
the
trophy.
the
Well,
they've
Europa
won the
League.
European trophy.
For me,
Yeah,
my thing is this with them, right?
But they haven't
And I said it
overall,
to
like when you
Smithy.
think of it, no.
Stop comparing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? And
Exactly.
just get on with you because we weren't in that competition.
Exactly.
We can't have a proper comparison of it because
Exactly.
we're not in that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right, and I don't, I was saying to, for some of the Arsenal fans who keep saying, look, well, they want it. Do you want us to drop into? Let's drop into the Conference League. We'll have a great.
No,
chance
but that's what people are saying. You know what? You know what? You said it a couple of weeks ago, I think, or you said it on a show anyway, and I agree with it because I said the same thing. Is that the Europa Cup right now? Europa League, sorry, is an easier league to win.
That's a second
for a stronger team. Like so, even like Villa now. Villa, for me, should be favourites to win.
No, they will be. They will be the favourites.
And I'm looking at like English teams could really dominate that cup for the next couple of years.
Remember, right? Now,
that's how I feel about
remember
it.
Now with how the Champions League is, right? Think of it this way: you've now taken out of the Europa League. You've now removed 36 teams from that competition. Because in the Champions League, you've got 36 of what is deemed as the elite teams
the top in the league.
Europe. 36. Then you got the rest in that. Of course, it's an easier competition to win. If anybody wants to say whatever they want, 36 teams have been removed from that. You've got the big, massive league now in that Champions League where you've got 36 teams and they've got play that league and it's a different competition now. So, but anyway, that's there. They've won that. Let them get on with it. Right?
Yeah, man.
I'm saying this, right? It's second again for Arsenal.
Ole, ole.
It's second again.
Unfortunately.
Well, we were at the game yesterday. You were there, Ty. You sat right in front of me, but listening to the game with about 6 different headphones.
Well, not 6, just 2. Just 2. The game and
I was watching him. I couldn't believe it.
You actually didn't. You
I
actually
said to
film
him,
me.
what are you listening to? He told me to listen to some chart music.
Yeah, that's right. And what I was listening to,
I don't get it. I mean, that's how much interest he had in the game.
No. I had
listening to.
I had interest in
90s charts
Well,
music.
I did it.
80s.
Absolute. Well, basically, it was absolute 90s chart show with Ben Burrell on Absolute Radio.
Why? Why did you listen to that?
Absolute other stage.
Why do you listen to that?
Because I like
the game's going on.
No, because the thing is, I've got commentary of the game. But what it is what I do.
This is crazy. You got
Why is it
commentary
crazy?
of the game in one ear, absolute 90s in the other ear.
It possible to hear the rival fans.
Yeah, absolutely, because I control anything. But what it is
so you can't hear all the chanting and all that that's going on?
I heard everything. I can hear everything. I pretend I can hear nothing.
Would you hear that through your mouth?
No, because my earphones are not loud. They're not loud. So I heard everything. So like I told you about what we were singing and what they were singing, I could hear what we were singing.
But listen, we finished second. Great goal by Martin Odegaard to win it. That's what we want to see him doing more of.
Yeah, man.
Right? But I've got second. It's second again.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Even though, it's second again. Now, I wrote down, 5 things I think we need to do
for next season
in order to win the league next season. Because remember,
if you write down 5 players we need.
Liverpool have won it easily.
Man.
Despite the fact that, we finished second, we finished far behind them, right? And they're going to they're buying Florian Wirtz. That's a great signing, by the way, right? So they're going to add to what
they're losing Alexander-Arnold.
They're losing Alexander-Arnold, but Wirtz is a top player, and they're going to make some.
Alexander-Arnold.
They're looking to get Frimpong.
They're bringing in Frimpong. That's another top signing. They're moving, right? These are my 5 things. First of all, we must sign a striker.
And he showed yesterday.
It's you saw yesterday, Kieran Tierney whipped some great balls into the box.
Well done to him, by the way.
No one's on his great goal by Tierney.
Yeah, man.
No one's there to put it away.
On his last game.
Victor Gyökeres is available. He's got an unbelievable scoring record. I thought for a minute yesterday when I saw Newcastle bottling the top 4, losing at home to Everton, right? They got lucky that Villa, lost that game. That we might be able to go and maybe try and get Isak, but they've got Champions League football. So Gyökeres for me.
Okay.
You agree?
Yeah, no. I wouldn't mind seeing him coming in. He's a striker that is proven. He scores a lot of goals, and he's a big centre forward.
Get him.
That's what we need. We need somebody that Saka or whoever's going to be on the next wing next season, crossing the ball in.
Just won the title.
Somebody on it, man. Yeah, man.
Get him.
Yeah.
Right? Number 2. Don't stop there. We need other attacking players as well. We need other attacking options. I saw this chart, right, where they said
it's just chart. Very good.
50 out of they compared us with 50 other top European teams.
I bet.
and said that we spent the least amount of money on attacking
Attackers.
players.
Yeah.
It's
I've
ridiculous.
seen it as well.
Go out there the same way we're always buying defender, left back, right.
yeah.
Go and buy a few attackers. I've seen the rumours of Rafa Leao. I've seen the rumours of Brian Mbuema. I've seen the rumours of Rodrigo. Nail at least one of them along with a striker.
Yeah.
Right? We need attacking players, right? Because you know the thing that cost us the league this season, apart from, certain other factors?
Yes.
A lack of options.
Up front.
Yeah.
When you see Liverpool play, options all over. They can bring on this player, that player, Gakpo,
Nunes.
Jota, Nunes, Diaz, Harvey Elliott. What do we got?
Wow.
Go and get attacking options.
Yeah.
Right? That's number 2.
I agree.
Number 3, we need to keep the players fit. 27 injuries this season.
Yeah.
I know some of them are obviously going to be classed as unlucky,
Very.
right? ACLs and that. But is there a problem with the training? Are we too intense in training that we had that much more injuries than everybody else?
Well, I'm to Calafiori yesterday.
Weren't even in the squad. Calafiori's basically been injured the whole season.
But that's what I'm saying. He
He
comes back, then he gone, comes back, then he gone.
Is there something up? They need to have a serious debrief and look at that this summer to see if there's a problem with the training, with the intensity. Are they to, because we know that Mikel Arteta's a guy that's all about detail and is the training too intense? Is there something wrong that these players are picking up so many serious hamstring injuries?
Yeah. That they need surgery and have to be out and all things like this.
What's up? So deal with the fitness issues, right? Because we'd have kept the whole squad fit.
We would have won it.
Right?
Different. Would that definitely pick up some?
Right? We might have done better.
We would have done a lot better.
Number 4, we need to tweak our style of play.
Yes.
The style of play where it's just pass,
Too
pass,
predictable.
pass.
Yeah.
I think it's getting sussed out now. I think
Yeah, it did.
both us and Manchester City this season paid the price, right? Because teams just said, all right, you got a bit like what Arsenal did to Barcelona in the women's game on Saturday.
I was going to say that.
It's like organised. We even see them to a certain extent.
They gear the ball. Here, have the ball.
10 men behind the ball, just really organised. Because you can drill a team to be really, right? Arsenal out wide, back in. Out wide, recycle. These teams are just doing that. And then what they're doing.
And that's happened to us all season.
Yeah, and then what these teams have got now, they've got these really quick players. If they win the ball, boom, all of a sudden, they got our defenders 2-on-2, 3-on-3, stuff like that, and they've got a chart. And if,
that's it.
That's why we drew so many games this season.
I think even that's why we lost the West Ham game at home.
Yeah.
It was one of them.
I think we need to tweak it where sometimes we're going a bit more direct.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're picking up the ball and dribbling through the middle more. It needs tweaking because I felt teams, it's almost like they'd worked us out.
Of course.
And that's why we drew some. We didn't lose a lot of games because if you actually check it out, right, we lost the same amount of games as Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly.
But
we drew 14, so many games.
14
right?
games, man.
And a lot of those games are from winning positions because we then, instead of getting that first goal, this is when I say we need to tweak it as well. Once we got that first goal, we still then stuck to that pass. Instead of just saying, right, kill up.
Yeah,
let's kill off our team.
I noticed that this season as well. There's been games where we get the goal, and then all of a sudden it seems like we got the goal.
We haven't killed the team.
The game not finished yet. The game not finished. Like,
so that style of play needs to be tweaked. And the final one, 5th, shoot. Shoot. These players don't want to shoot, man.
Honestly, boy.
What happened yesterday when Martin Odegaard picks the ball up, comes inside? What did he do?
Shoot.
What happened? We won the game.
And I'm like, where was this all season, Odegaard?
We don't want to shoot.
All season, you've been in that position and we said, shoot.
The last 2 games he's done it.
And I'm like, look, man,
And the goal came against Liverpool.
How many times? Thomas Partey yesterday, the amount of times the man got the ball in a great position.
He did shoot about once.
Right? Instead of the man shooting, or if he did shoot, you're trying to take about 2-3 shots to get the perfect shot.
He did shoot one. No.
These players need to shoot more. The only guy who does it is Declan Rice. And look how many goals he scored.
But you say that, to be fair, Oleg, I think, had a few shots.
He had that one shot.
One brilliant save from Aaron.
But they don't shoot enough.
That's what I'm saying.
They need to shoot more.
What I'm saying, you're saying that yesterday's game, but we're talking overall over the season. There's been many opportunities we've seen players outside the box, and they get the ball and it's like, shoot now. Like you have the space just because you know what I hate it because sometimes I watch other games. I'm watching games, especially in European football. You know, when you're watching teams in Italy, you're watching teams even in Turkey and those leagues, and you're watching these other. They shoot from outside the box a lot, and you see these brilliant goals, and you say, "Whoa, what a banger!"
You're passing the ball that
we're
much,
not
right?
doing that, man.
And also, when teams have got so many players behind the ball and you shoot, it can deflect.
It
can go
anything,
anywhere.
yeah.
That's why we get Man City when Thomas showed it.
That's what you have
can
to
create
do.
more chaos.
That's
So that's 5 ways I feel that we can get over the line next season. But we have to do these things because to me, we're close.
Very close.
Yes, we are, man.
Close is not good enough.
No, we are. We're very
Can't
close.
be the nearly men.
No.
And it's going to be a big season for Arteta. This transfer window is huge.
We said
And
it.
then-
You know, we said it the other day. You know, it's like we still give like people have to understand. You know, it's not like we're not happy to finish second. Like it's not that way. But we have to look at the season that we've had in terms of like we spoke about it, injuries, the decisions against us, and be like, you know what? Credit to Arteta for still managing with whatever he has there to still keep us there and get us.
He ain't going to get that credit next season.
But he cannot get it next season. It's done now.
He will if we win things.
No, yeah, he get credit
He has
for
to
winning.
win.
He has to win next season. We don't want this now. We want him to win, and that is it. Like we don't want to come second again. And you know makes me laugh. I just want to say something. You know, like the players, you can see they look disappointed to come second again. You know what I mean?
They look disappointed.
You know, it ain't like they're happy and over the
course
moon
they're not
about
happy.
it. Because you have to think, you know, Tottenham winning down the road, that should motivate these lot now.
Should it?
This should really, of course it should.
What should the only thing that should motivate?
No,
our men
listen.
Is our women winning. Forget about Tottenham.
No,
Is our women.
Yeah, that as well.
So
No,
don't
that
forget
as
about
well.
what
No, it's
Tottenham
not
do
forget about
is
them.
irrelevant
It's
to
a
us.
fact of that they next season, you're playing
Don't
them
let me laugh,
Hold
Robbie,
on.
man.
Listen,
What
next season,
Yeah.
we're playing them home and away.
Who?
Tottenham.
Home and away. I like that.
Yeah, we're playing them home and away. What do you think they're gonna be singing?
I don't care what they're singing.
You will. I guarantee you will be caring.
I don't care.
I guarantee you come on this show and talk about them.
I don't care.
We might
what
get
they're
them in
gonna be
FA
singing.
Cup. We might get them in
Are they
Carabao
going to be
Cup.
singing Champions of Europe?
They're gonna be in
Because
Champions
they
League.
won.
But no,
I'm
they're
cool
gonna
with it.
be in Champions League.
So what?
As well. We might even have to face them at some point.
Oh, that'd be great if we beat them, isn't it?
Yes, of course it is.
I'm
but
not worried
that's
about
what I'm saying.
them.
Our players like
Because
Saka who came to the ranks, Skelly,
Yes.
they know
Wow,
what
yeah.
it is. And there's a lot of players that know what it means.
Yep.
They should see this and say, you know what? Big up Tottenham, they done what they done. Watch what we do next season.
See what our women do.
and cancel that out because
Our women.
And another thing,
Our women.
you see Chelsea qualified for Champions League, yeah? You
Yeah.
see how them celebrate?
Really? Yeah.
No,
exactly.
did you see how them celebrating? But that nobody won't talk about
It's
that.
known about us doing that.
Exactly,
Nobody will talk
exactly.
about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
were celebrating like they won a cup.
Yeah.
No, it was,
Yeah,
it
'cause
was
they're even in the
ridiculous.
dressing room and all
jumping
that, yeah.
around. I'm like, whoa. If this was
You know what I mean?
was Arsenal, yeah, I
Yeah.
have the video now. I'll show you. If this was Arsenal,
God. Yeah.
we would be dragged
Yeah. Through the
over it. We'd be laughed at and saying,
Yeah,
look, when
yeah,
you're
yeah.
celebrating.
Yeah.
But we didn't
Yeah.
celebrate because we know we expect better from our team. We're so close,
And that's what I mean.
we need the final.
We
need
hold
the
to a
final
higher standard.
tools now to complete the job.
We can't
Absolutely.
just keep saying this every year. We have to get over the line.
Yeah,
I think
man.
And I'm
Arteta
sure we
next
will.
year. I think if he doesn't get over the line,
Yeah,
what he
that's
does.
it for me.
it could be curtains.
I'm,
He has
yeah,
to. He's under
yeah.
pressure next season.
He has to.
Who's your boohoo man of the? You know what? I'm going to ask you for your boohoo man of the week,
Yeah.
then your boohoo man of the year, which is going to be equivalent to your player of the season.
Oh wow.
And your player of the, when I say player of the season, I mean your Arsenal player of the season.
Okay. Yeah.
So-
Oh
so
yeah.
Who's your boohoo man of the week?
Boohoo man of the week for me is going to the one and only big the Arsenal women.
I was gonna say. I thought he was gonna. I was gonna say. It better be Big Zoo.
What do you think I was gonna say? Big Ange.
Yeah, obviously, other celebrity chefs are available.
No, the women's team.
They are
well done.
doing it,
Incredible.
yeah,
Come
it's-
on, man.
it's incredible.
They're absolute legends.
Big up to them.
Absolutely. They are
Congratulations,
man.
our women.
They are legends.
All of them are legends.
And you know, we were saying at the weekend, man, there needs to be. We have a statue of, I don't know if it's Renee Sliggers.
Renee, absolutely.
Or is it Leah Williamson or
Well, it's
or
both of
Kim
them.
Little, but there
Yeah.
needs to be a statue of them women's team.
Yeah, they need to
Winner
be.
at a Champions League.
Incoming for
There's
next
no
season.
statue for those women down there.
For next season.
You know,
There's got to be.
But wouldn't they have to do one for the first lot that won it as well?
Yeah,
maybe. I think
They are
Or a
there.
combination of it. They're on the wall.
The first,
they're on the wall, that's
the
right.
first women that did it, unbelievable achievement.
Legends,
I think
unbelievable
this is bigger
Yeah.
because it's harder to win the Champions League now. You got Barcelona; they just won it. They were looking to win it 3 years in a row. They've won it 3 out of the last 4 years. I think with the teams, the caliber of teams now, no disrespect to those women, great achievement when they won it, and they did the treble and all that, right? When they won it. But I think now it's harder to win. The Leons, the Barcelonas, Real Madrid. Arsenal women had to beat all of those teams to
They
win
did.
it.
But then,
And they did it from qualification.
yeah.
First team to ever do that.
But then, Robbie, what I would say is
They'll
that
get something, man. Definitely.
where you have to still put the other legends on the level is, like I said on the watch along, when we won it for the first time, we were semi-professional and we beat a fully professional team in Umia.
True, but I'm saying that the level now
Developed a lot more
different.
since then. Yeah, I get
It is,
that,
but
yeah.
that's still an
2000,
incredible
I mean,
achievement.
It's an incredible achievement. I feel that what these women have done, this is now a fully professional league. The teams that you're coming, remember that team, that Barcelona team,
Won it
has
three
got
times in 4 seasons.
2 Ballon d'Or winners in the team,
And destroyed Chelsea.
and the team is full of players that have won the Euros
Yeah.
with Spain, the
Yeah, it's
best
true.
team in Europe.
It's true.
To me, statue.
No, definitely.
Yeah,
statue,
well, for
right?
Rene, and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the team,
Who's
absolutely.
your boohoo man of the season?
Who might have seen that wasn't easy for me, to be honest.
It's easy.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
man.
Lionel Richie.
No, it's Gabriel,
Commodores.
man. Gabriel for me, man.
Gabriel,
Gabriel
big
Magalhaes.
him up. Big
I
him
actually
up.
agree with that as well.
Even though he's
He
been
might play
injured
the
for the
season as
last
well.
couple of games, but before that,
He would have been if he didn't get injured.
trust me, man. That
But I
like,
can't disagree with that, I suppose.
yeah, I'll give it to him, man.
Him
And I
or
feel
him
like
or Declan.
I feel like his injury came at the wrong time. Man. I'm not saying Kivior has stepped in.
Oh, he's brilliant.
And
Well done,
he
Jakob.
has shown that, you know what, he actually is good. He's not, give him some games, let him get in. 'Cause remember, he came in for a Real Madrid
Yeah.
game
And
and
was
then
brilliant.
PSG game.
Outstanding.
And, it's a Liverpool game. He's come into certain games and it's like,
been outstanding.
he stand up. But for me, Gabriel is my boohoo man of the
Gabriel,
season, man.
Right. Idiot
Of the week.
of the week.
Of the week, Joey Barton.
You know what? Could I get to Man United, not gonna lie, Could I get to Man United
Yeah,
for not stopping Spurs, and not only that, your season's been awful, man. Could give it to Villa as well. Emi Martinez. What was you doing?
he doing?
He's leaving, that's what he's
was
Big
he
experienced
doing?
keeper like
I'm
that.
not
He
joking.
goes out and gets himself
Yeah.
sent off.
Like,
Cost
come
Villa.
on, man. Like, you literally just took out the man, so I could have gave it to him. But I'm going to give it to the referee of that game. Yeah, I'm going to give it to
Terrible.
him. Because did you see the goal that disallowed?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw it.
The keeper didn't have the ball. That's a goal.
And then the worst thing the referee did is he blew the whistle. He said, when you have incidents like that, it's their protocol. You've got to let the play continue.
Yeah.
Then you
Then you
blow.
make the VAR check it, yeah.
And let VAR check it. VAR would definitely have overturned it. And that Villa would have went 1-0 up.
Yeah,
Right.
and defended and
You know, and
yeah.
then after that, United go down the other end and
Yeah,
score.
score,
Right?
yeah.
And that's cost them £100 million
Yeah.
potentially.
I know
All
they.
right.
I know they're
was
looking
still
to.
tough.
They're looking to. They have it
They're
investigated.
making a
But it's like,
complaint, but what's that going to do?
Listen,
I mean,
I want them to complain. Get to the back of the Q Villa, because we're first. About complain.
but it was a shocking refereeing decision. And I think all it's done is gone to highlight, we finish off the season as we started the season.
In controversy.
Talking about the poor refereeing.
definitely, man.
Something
Yep.
needs to be done.
Absolutely.
Has to be, man.
I know it's a very difficult job. I don't want to put off any referees out there from taking on this job, whether it be at grassroots, right up, right? This job is hard.
It's hard.
These guys, they go out from grassroots, oftentimes they get abused and stuff like that,
Which
which
is
is
totally
wrong.
out of order.
Right, I've seen it
And
myself.
Yeah.
Right, it's a most difficult job.
Yeah.
But at this level, it has to improve because
to.
we've seen, like you said, Ty, we've been on the end of some bad ones this season. I
Really
think
bad.
every team has.
Wow.
It's not been up to scratch.
No, it hasn't been up to scratch. It's not been
Something
good enough.
has to be done for next season. They can't just keep coming out and making excuses.
Yeah.
And teams are are fed up of hearing, "Oh, I'm sorry," or things being overturned, like the Mars
Well,
Lewis Skelly thing.
do you know
and
what-
stuff like-
Yeah, no,
Get it right next season. You can make mistakes, but you've got VAR now. Get it
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Well, Robbie, do you know what? Do you know what we should play in our dressing room?
What that?
I've heard it all before by Sunshine Anderson. That's what we should play in our dressing room because we have. We've heard it all before. That's what we've heard. That's what we should play in our dressing room. So then we're not surprised because it's just
want me to
absolutely
idiot of the
ridiculous.
season?
All right,
Joey
idiot of
Bar-
the season.
Joey Barton.
Idiot of the season.
I think this is easy as well.
The idiot of
Yeah, I know what
the
he's gonna say.
season for this season
Joey
goes
Barton.
to the one and only Manchester
Yeah, I knew it.
United.
Easy.
Listen, you are the worst team
The worst ever Man United team in history.
in that. No, yeah, and also the worst team in the league. You have to look.
No, they're not the worst team
no,
in the league apart from the bottom three.
No, listen, I put things into context, right? We're talking about Manchester Football Club, United, yeah? We're talking about how they're like what? One of the most in English Premier League.
They have a
know what I
Liverpool
mean?
a week with them now.
No, that's what I'm saying. They are one of them. They've
spent over
done
£1 billion
all
on
this. They
players.
spent all this money. This is the great Manchester United.
Biggest club in the country.
Theatre of dreams.
Nightmares.
And
In
look
football
where
terms.
you are in the league this
Yeah.
season. So they are the worst in the league. Tottenham getting 22 to me is like, that's Tottenham.
No, you
That's
know,
Tottenham.
no, but you know what, Yardi, right? You know
Because
what,
we don't expect much from Tottenham
You know
anyway.
what,
So that's Tottenham.
Yardi, you make a great point. They have been the worst team in the league.
Of course.
Because you know what? At the start of the season, I think most people predicted that the three promoted teams at that
go
time
back down.
would
Go
go
back
straight
back
down.
down.
Yeah,
they
and they
didn't
did,
spend
unfortunately.
hardly any. Leicester spent hardly any money. Southampton didn't spend any money.
Listen.
And nor did who was the other team?
Sorry, one thing before you say.
Ipswich
And
Town.
big up Vardy as well, man. Retired now and everything.
Yeah.
But I think, it's been
Ipswich.
great, man.
Yeah, I think everyone expected those three to go down.
Yeah, but with
right?
Leicester, Robbie, but with Leicester though, they put the kibosh. When they employed Ruud van Cheet himself, you could see he was only going one way.
No, but everyone expected those three to go down.
yeah, especially
right?
with him.
In the case of Tottenham, as bad a season as they've had, right, they do have mitigation in that they had a lot of
Yeah, they
injuries.
did.
They had times when they had the Vicario was
Vicario
out.
out.
The
they had
whole,
Devin,
the whole
Ramiro.
back line was
They had a
out.
lot of injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
then Maddison.
They shouldn't have finished as bad as they did.
No.
But they had a lot of
They
injuries.
did have a lot of injuries.
But
too.
in Manchester United's case,
Yeah.
they've been horrendous.
Horrendous.
They've been horrendous. They've not won any. They can't point to what Tottenham have done and say we won a trophy because they didn't
No,
win a trophy.
they haven't.
They've had their worst ever finish.
And they cannot talk about
right?
Wolves.
And they're
Wolves
not
is in between
supposed to
them, like-
finish below teams like Wolves, Everton, these type of teams.
No, man.
Well, that's the
Right?
way it is,
They, honestly, you're right. They
are
have
the
been
worst
the worst team in the league. When you
Of
put
course.
it pound for pound,
Yeah.
pound for pound.
That's what I'm saying. That's
they've
how
been
you
the
weigh it
worst
up.
team
That's how I weighed
in the
it
Premier
up.
League. Pound
Yeah.
for pound, probably the worst team of the big teams in Europe. Probably the worst big team in Europe.
Of course.
Is Manchester United.
And
Pound for
that's
pound.
why you should play Ipswich in a one-off game to see swap places with them.
Idiot of the week. Idiot of the year, sorry. Idiot of the season.
All that.
Right, listen, before we go, we got a couple of arse ties. Let me get a couple of these in.
Question time.
Question tie. Swazi one says, what position apart from a striker do we need most, and do you still rate Martin Odegaard?
Of course, I was rate Martin. And position we need most, probably, I'd say a left winger. Somebody that can.
Not a striker.
No, he said apart from. I think he or she said apart.
Oh, apart from a striker, yes,
yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, I think possibly a left or right winger. Definitely somebody that can cover Bukayo and take the pressure off him.
He plays right wing.
Yeah.
Okay, right wing, left wing, left or right wing,
Okay,
whoever.
what about you?
Yeah, I was about to say that we definitely, when you was doing your 1 to 5, I was saying we know how important soccer is. We've seen how important it is, and it shows with chances, assists, everything that he does, that when he's out. So we need somebody that, if we can get another Saka, great, I doubt you can, but we need somebody in that position as well. So when Saka is not available or he needs a rest, we we have this guy coming on.
What about you, Robbie?
Yeah, listen, we need left winger,
Right,
winger,
Yeah.
I think we even
and a
need.
second striker.
I
I
thi-
think we need 3 forwards.
I think we even need another creative midfielder as well, man. As an
Yeah.
option.
Well, isn't that hopefully Zubimendi? Hopefully that is.
No,
No,
Zimmerman
he's
is
not,
defensive
he's not.
midfielder.
Oh, right, okay.
I think, I mean, right winger actually. I mean, I think Ethan Wanyeri is a good backup.
He is.
But I
For
think,
left
I
winger.
think we do need another player for Odegaard, like
Yeah.
to cover that
And
position.
maybe Declan as well.
SKFTBL
question.
12 says, do you think as a club we've moved backwards this season?
No, definitely not. Definitely, we've moved forwards.
In what way?
In
In what way have we moved forward?
Well, in the fact that we beat Real Madrid comfortably over 2 legs. When would we have ever done that? Who would have said we would knock out the reigning European champions comfortably and not only beat them
Well,
at home,
you say when
beat
would
them
we
away?
ever do that? We've done it twice now,
No, we have, but I mean,
and we've only played them
yeah, that's right.
4 times. So we've
Yeah, I
done it
know.
every time we played
But,
them. So
Yo,
Hey, man.
no, you are right. By the time we did beat them, we had a much better team.
yeah, I know, but I'm
That's what I
just
mean.
saying that the fact that we've only ever met them
Yeah, no, we have. But I'm saying
4 times technically, but 2 times,
No,
and we done it.
you're right. But
So-
in the fashion that we did it,
So you think we move forwards?
I think so.
I think I feel like we haven't. We're still there. We're still what we are, and because it's second, it's not. We're not have improved on second. We
It's
haven't
very
gone
close.
back on second. I mean, in a way, we could say we move forward because we've gone from the last season quarterfinals to semi-finals in the Champions League. So yes, and considering the team that we did beat, you could say, yeah, man, we have gone forward in some way.
Yeah.
But again, with the lack of who was available,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to assess something like that for
I
me.
think we kind of, in a way, we stood still. But then, yeah, you do make a good point, Ty. Like,
Thank you.
in the Champions League, we've been much better. We finished third in the group stage.
Yeah.
Out of all 36 teams, and we got to a semi-final. Yeah, so slightly forwards, but to make that big step, which is what it's going to require, we need to bring the right personnel.
Yeah.
We've reached the end of the show. Last show for the season, but we're not finished here. We'll be here throughout the summer with the Bias Premier League show. Remember, people, as we talk about summer, if you want to get your summer clothing, it's the perfect place. When you talk about value for money, it's the perfect place. AFTV 10 gives you an extra 10% off. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get involved right now with Boohoo Man.
I just want to say 2 things. First of all,
2.
yes, 2 things. That's right. 2.
You're using a lot of words. Go
You
on.
heard right. A lot of words. What?
Go on.
Okay.
Hurry
so
up.
first of all, predictions for the Unity Cup, please.
Well, I've seen some of the lineups for the Unity Cup. I didn't even know which way to go now.
Because he was answering on
because,
what do I think?
You know, this with the Unity
Jamaica's
Cup,
winning
why
it.
didn't they do it next week?
Exactly.
Because the thing is, if you've got players like, say for instance, Leon Bailey, or even players like for Nigeria, like Victor Osimhen, they've just finished their season.
Ghana party.
That means they can't join. They can't join a training camp for those games.
They're not taking this
Yeah, Partey.
I don't think Jamaica.
It's Kudus. So
known as Nigeria, though.
yeah, I can't make a
of course
prediction
not.
to be honest, because
really?
I when I look through the Jamaica team, I don't even know who half of the players.
Jamaica is winning the cup.
Okay. Well,
Jamaica to the word.
I say hopefully we'll
Jamaica.
we will win.
All right, that's one.
hopefully we'll beat
That's one.
Jamaica and hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh no! Hopefully we'll beat Ghana and hopefully beat whoever we face in front.
next.
One.
Okay. All right. Okay. And secondly, favorite bias show of the season. And favorite moment of the season.
Favorite boy, you miss any?
The ones you were missing.
Yeah,
Those are the best ones.
There was one. I didn't miss it. Any favorite shows in it?
Favorite boy show this season?
Yes.
The one that I wasn't here.
Look at that.
We'll let you guys out there
Okay,
judge
let
which
me
you
say,
think
can I
is the
say-
favourite. But listen, what was your favourite?
My favorite one.
Cook? Was it this season?
Oh, that one. It's jollof rice. The absolute disgrace.
That was.
Remember that?
It's probably that one. I can't say when I damage the camera. So
Oh, yeah. Where's my money, man? 'Cause, I've got some debts to pay over
Des,
this
you
Tottenham
debts?
thing. I need that money for the camera. Right, so get that money sorted out fast.
and favorite moment of the season for our men.
The Real
It
Madrid
would be
game.
the Real Madrid.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Two legs Real Madrid.
Yeah. I would say so. And obviously for our women, winning the Champions League and all that.
Of course, and yeah,
It's
the
about
women
three
winning the
things,
Champions
you
League.
And
know.
also the
look, I said
last thing, sorry.
6, 7 things in my
I just wanted to say
give them an
thank
inch, them
you.
take a mile.
I just want to say thank you
You're
to
welcome.
you, Yardi, and
Respect.
thank you to you, Robbie, for
you have
a
not
fantastic time on the Buyer Show.
Well,
and
you
all that.
leaving?
And thank you.
It's
No,
like a leaving.
I'm not leaving. And thank you, because I didn't do the interview yesterday.
Thank you to Boohoo Man as well.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
thank you
thank
to
you to
Boohoo
Boohoo
Man,
Man.
and thank you to AFTV for all their hard work for the season and all production and everybody.
Okay, listen, thank you very much, guys. We'll big up the production team.
Absolutely,
But we
big
will
up.
be back next week. We're here right throughout the summer with the Bias Premier League show alongside Boohoo Man. Scan the QR code, as we said. And I'll leave you with this. Notice he only shook our hands. He didn't give us a hug. Goodbye.
Oh, okay, all right then. Okay.
Too late, man. Too late. You see that?
Good luck to
see that?
Good luck to Nigeria in the Unity Cup. Peace.